What's going on, guys? It's getting a little chilly out here. I made it to the Sherman Brook campsite, and it's not much of a campsite. I should have read more of the comments on the far out before I came out here. There's no water source here. The spring that's just before the campsite is just, it's a little puddle of mud filled with leaves. That's all it is. There's no water there whatsoever, which is too bad because I was literally following a brook slash river all the way here until about 3/4 of a mile ago. That's the water source for North Adams, so it would have been great water. I had a full bottle, luckily, but I had to use half of it to cook the Knorr rice package that I had. So I only got a little bit of, I got like this much water left that I threw in some electrolytes. And what I'm kind of worried about is that I have to do like about 3 miles in the morning before I even hit the first potential water source. So I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to go back down, maybe throw on a day pack, go back a little bit, fill up at the brook, and then continue, or if I'm just going to power through it. I'm not really sure yet. But the Knorr rice is good. Good morning. I didn't take any footage from the campsite this morning because I got behind a little. I had to backtrack about half a mile or so down the Blue Blaze that I was on back to the AT, where I came up yesterday out of North Adams, so that I could fill my water, because there was no good water source at that campsite. But it is warm out here today with no breeze, and I am like climbing up this ridiculous ridge of rocks, and it's super steep, and I needed a break, so I figured I'd touch base. But Jose was at the campsite again, the guy who's going northbound, same direction as me. I don't think he's going as far as me today, but I was excited to read last night that Vermont allows dispersed camping. So for some reason I don't want to push the whole 12.5 miles to the Cogden shelter. Then I can camp wherever I want tonight, which is nice. But I keep looking up because, like, if I look like this, that's where I'm going. It's ridiculous. Here, I can show you where I came from. That doesn't look too bad, right? And this is where I'm going. You can see the white blaze is up that way. So if I put the camera like this, you can see it's not something you want to fall down. And I'm going up over that ridge right there. So I got a lot of work ahead of me, and I'm carrying extra water weight today because the water doesn't look good for the trail for at least 10 miles. So I got all my water full. I'm trying to drink it as I go to lighten the load a little bit, but I can feel the extra poundage on me today for sure. And I'm climbing. I've been climbing since camp. I haven't even had a single flat yet. So needless to say, between having to climb down this steep cliff this morning to grab water out of the town water supply, I was far enough up that there wasn't any postings, so I don't think they're gonna bother. It was the cleanest water that I've seen yet. I still ran it through my filter though. But yeah, by the time I got back to camp, I was exhausted already, and now I get to climb for the next I don't know, 8 hours. So I'll catch you guys in a little bit when something cool happens. Wow, that was intense. That had some sketchy spots in it, especially with this much weight on my back. I have to be very careful with my balance, you know, because if I step wrong and this weight shifts to one side in a bad way, things could go really wrong on a section like I just did. So I took my sweet time, and it required a lot of effort. But wow, it is pretty incredible up here right now. I'm not even all the way to the top yet. I almost am, but I don't think there's going to be a better view up there. Maybe there will be. Check this out. Oh man, I am up here right now, and that ridge that I'm climbing is no joke. That was the most intense bouldering I've had to do yet, for sure. And I thought I lost the trail for a little bit because I was looking for white blazes, and then, dumb me, I realized that they had painted red arrows on certain rocks. So I figured it out. but I'm gonna finish climbing up here. It looks like there's a sign up there, so if there's a view, I'll catch you in a minute. Woo! Hell yeah! Let's go! Welcome to Vermont, the Long Trail, a footpath in the wilderness. The Long Trail, maintained by the Green Mountain Club, follows the Green Mountain Range for 273 miles north to Canada. White painted blazes mark the trail, blue blazes mark side trails. The AT follows the LT for 105 miles. And guidebooks are available from the Green Mountain Club in Waterbury, Stowe Road, out of Waterbury Center, Vermont 05677. And you can visit www.greenmountainclub.org for more info. I am so psyched right now. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not gonna lie. When I crossed the Massachusetts border into Vermont, I shed a couple tears. This has been a lot of hard work for me. And I know I got a lot coming. I got a lot more challenges ahead of me. But I'm proud of myself for reaching this point. Because after day one, I was doubting myself. I was doubting my ability to carry this pack this far. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Today, I just absolutely killed the last 4 miles. Like, some of the steepest terrain that I've seen yet, and my legs are feeling great. And I'm just so excited for what's ahead of me right now. I'm so excited for the next 105 miles of the Long Trail. I'm so excited for the Green Mountains. I'm so excited to see everything that I've never seen before in Vermont, because I've never done any hiking in Vermont. And I'm really grateful to be here. I really am. So. Well, I'm here at one of my I don't know, I guess waypoints on the way to where I'm headed today, which is just a set of power lines. I've just been climbing for a while, but I was in a groove, so I didn't really want to stop at all. I did find a stream back there that was moving pretty good, that wasn't on the map, and it had crystal clear water, so I'm full on water again, which is nice, because with this heat, I was starting to feel a little dehydrated. So I just sat there and I pounded a bottle of water, and made me feel so much better. And I did throw some more electrolytes in my in the bottle that I have right now. I only have a couple of packs left of electrolytes, so I left the rest for tomorrow, knowing that I'm going into Bennington. But the way I'm feeling right now, besides my ankles are just so sore from yesterday. So sore from descending that switchback hill down into North Adams yesterday, and how many times I partially rolled my ankle over on both feet. So it's like the tops of my feet to my ankles are just incredibly sore. I took a couple of extra strength Tylenol back there. That's only the second time I've taken Tylenol since I've been out here, and I don't take medication very often at all, so I'm hoping it doesn't affect my stomach negatively. But really, I needed to dull the pain a little bit, because the rest of my legs are feeling great, my shoulders are feeling great, my neck's feeling great. I'm like highly motivated after hitting the Vermont border, so I want to just keep chugging along, keep tanking my way up these ridges on my way to the Cogden shelter. And I'm gonna be honest, like, if I'm feeling good and my ankles aren't hurting that bad, I might push past the Cogden shelter today. I always have like these big goals in my head, and then later in the day I have to reel them back in. But it's always good to kind of like throw something out there for yourself and chase it. So the way I'm looking at it is there's dispersed camping allowed in Vermont. So if I can push past the Cogden shelter today, then it just means a shorter hike into Bennington tomorrow. So I'm setting myself up for a better day tomorrow. Potential, like, I don't know, I'm even thinking about maybe taking a 0 with how my ankles are feeling, and then really starting to push it after that. So we'll see what happens. But here's the power lines right here. Not really a view, you know, but I just came up this right here, Yeah, I understand after only being in Vermont for a handful of miles why they call it Vermud. It's like I was rock hopping back there. I'll post a picture so you can see what I'm talking about. I literally like was hopping from rock to rock, and it dawned on me, like, as I was going through it, that there's been several times out here that I'm like, oh, this, like, being a kid on Cape Cod prepared me for this. And like hopping on the rocks was one of them, because like I used to love jumping across the jetties like when I was a teenager. I mean, I still love jumping across the jetties. Who am I kidding, you know? And then I'm walking across bog bridges having flashbacks to, like, you know, elementary school on the balance beams. It's just like, between that and like the fact that I had to sew my shirt the other day for that's probably the first time I've sewed since I was like, I don't know, 13 years old or something like that. So it's like I'm drawing on all these things that I learned when I was like really young, and it's making me feel like a kid out here, and I love it. So I'm gonna keep chugging along because I'm like in a good groove right now, but I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Well, those of you who know me wouldn't be surprised that the last few miles I've been listening to the Patriots game out here, and I'm kind of lucky that I'm like walking across one of the tallest ridges out here, and I have like perfect signal to listen to the game. But this is actually the power lines that I thought I hit earlier, because I had looked at the map earlier today and I knew I was going to hit power lines with a view. That's why I was confused when I got to the last one and it had such a shitty view. Check this out. Absolutely incredible. I am deep into Vermont already, and I hear the buzzing of the electricity above me, and it's probably why I have such a great signal out here. The fact that I'm so high and I'm around some sort of infrastructure. But wow, I'm just in such a groove right now hiking that I don't really want to stop here. But this is like, I mean, check out these rocks. This is like a perfect place to stop for lunch. Maybe I will just stop. What kind of time am I doing? Wow, I've climbed almost 3,000 feet today already. My ankles believe it. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna keep tanking along, trekking down the trail here in VT, and listen to the game. Lucky me. I'll talk to you guys soon. Well, I lost the game after I descended off that ridge. Big surprise, right? Considering I'm like literally out in the middle of nowhere in Vermont. I shouldn't expect to get a solid signal out here. But I was just cruising along. Everything's just been the same today. Just mud and rocks and roots and rocks and mud. It's all the same. But I finally just came across something worthwhile. Look at this. Nice little, I would call it a pond. I believe this is a beaver pond, is what it says on the map. So there's probably a few dams around here somewhere. And for reference, it's not good to drink beaver water. So if you ever notice a beaver dam blocking your water supply, unless it's an emergency, don't drink the water. Even if you have a good filter, you can get really sick from it. From what I understand, there's some sort of bacteria or virus in the water that the filters just don't seem to take care of some of the times, and you end up putting yourself in a bad position. So don't drink beaver water. PSA. Well, I just met this really nice guy on trail who's a flip-flopper named Optimistic, and he gave me a lot of good advice going forward about the trail in Maine and in the Whites and everything, and gave me a lot of tips on you know, what to do, how to be careful and stuff. But that's a problem for a different day. Right now I am at my largest crossing so far, and this water's moving pretty good, so I got to be really careful if I don't want to get soaking wet. Check this out. And I'm not really sure exactly where the trail is. I think it's right there. I gotta figure it out, and I gotta safely cross this. So, with one pole. Yippee. I think I see a safe route. So, wish me the best of luck. Catch you guys on the other side. Well, that sucked. Turns out I didn't need to even cross it right there. I have to cross it further up. I found after I crossed it, I found the white blaze across the river. And the first pass over, I made it great. The second pass over, I stepped on a rock that looked secure and dry, and it wasn't. So, needless to say, I am soaked. I all the way up to almost my knees. Oh man, that water is cold too, but I guess it's preparing me for the future in Maine. So the trail is just terribly marked right here, absolutely terribly marked. There was no white blaze coming down there. There's no indication that I needed to come over here. Just bad. It's my own fault that I crossed there before looking around more, and lesson learned, you know. The good news is all the mud's off my shoes. Bad news is they are literally soaked after trying all day to avoid them getting wet. Well, I gotta get to camp. My feet are starting to get cold. I gotta get these shoes off. This is not cool. Talk to you guys soon. Good morning, everyone, from the Cogden shelter, just south of South Bennington, or just south of Bennington, Vermont, not South Bennington. Last time I talked to you guys, I had just fell into a river that I turned out I didn't have to cross. So that was my own fault. So I've been sitting here for a little bit in the morning just to let some of my things dry. I got my shoes sitting here in the sun, drying out a little bit, so because they were partially frozen this morning. Luckily, it wasn't too cold last night. I think it just got down to 32 or so last night. It wasn't down into the 20s, so it felt pretty warm to me, actually, with my sleep system. So this is the Cogden shelter. This is a really old shelter here in Vermont. Let's see what it says. I believe it was built in 1967 and named after Herbert Wheaton Cogden, who was a longtime member and trustee of the Green Mountain Club that takes care of everything out here. And they have caretakers that come out here during the summer and check up on things and clean things up, and it's all volunteer based. It's pretty amazing, the community that's around the Long Trail as well as the AT. But my game plan today, I got a lot of logistics to work out inside of Bennington, because I ended up not picking up food when I was in North Adams, and I just stretched it to here. I might end up having to take a bus either into Manchester or back into North Adams if I can't find the food that I need in Bennington, but I have plenty of time. I was actually able to find a hotel room at the Catamount Motel in Bennington, and they take care of hikers. So anybody that's in the area, I highly recommend them. I haven't been there yet, but just from what I've heard and the gentleman that I talked to last night, it seems like the best place to go for hikers. They offer a hiker-only discounted rate of $60 a night, which is amazing, and that's 7 days a week. So you're paying half the rate on the weekend that other people are paying. And in addition to that, they'll come and they'll pick you up at the trailhead here at US 9, which is about 4.3 miles north of where I am right now. The only catch is that there's not good cell service. He's claiming no cell service at the end of the trailhead. So what he asked me to do was give him a phone call when I get up on top of what's called Harmon Hill, which is the mountain that I'm climbing today. and give him a call, and then about an hour and 10 minutes later he'll meet me, or whoever's going to shuttle me will meet me at the road crossing. So sounds like a great deal to me. And they'll also bring me back to the road crossing tomorrow when I'm ready to go back. So I got a lot of stuff I got to figure out. I got to find some freeze-dried meals that I actually enjoy. They have a few at the Walmart here in Bennington, but they're ones that aren't my favorites. So I'm not trying to be too picky or anything out here, but I need to have food that I know I'm going to eat at the end of the day, because the amount of calories that I'm burning is ridiculous. I burned, I don't know, probably 5,000 to 6,000 calories yesterday with all the climbing that I did, especially in the heat. So eating scrambled eggs and bacon and Insta-mashed, which is what I had for dinner last night, didn't really suffice. And I want to get going today, so I'm not going to cook myself any breakfast this morning. I just pounded down some breakfast bars, and I'm heading out now, headed to Harmon Hill, and I'll catch you guys there. Oh man, until I got going today, I felt like I was feeling really good, but I definitely did not get enough food in me last night. Number one, that's part of the reason why I really got to get into town and get some meals today. And then two, my ankles and the tops of my feet, on both of my feet from the last few days, are just absolutely destroyed. Like, I didn't realize how bad it was until the first couple of uneven steps I had. It feels like I have like a minor sprain on the outsides of both of my ankles, and it's just really painful today, like extremely painful, to the point where unfortunately I think I might have to take a zero tomorrow. As much as I don't want to, I know that the smart thing for the longevity of my trip is to pay attention to my body and not do any like real damage to myself. Obviously out here it really takes a toll on you, but I pushed through it yesterday and I was feeling so good, especially with the adrenaline rush of hitting the border and everything and being in Vermont for the first time. But I think I just pushed it a little bit too hard, because the day before that, when I was descending that switchback hill, I had turned over my ankles a dozen times each, if not more. And then I just hiked through it yesterday, and the terrain was pretty flat yesterday, but I was doing a lot of hopping from rock to rock, which uses all those stabilizing muscles, and I just feel like I didn't give it enough time to heal. So I'm probably going to need to give myself 24 hours to heal up, and so that I can really make a solid push into the Green Mountains. And I'll be heading into what they call the Glastonbury Wilderness starting the next day that I'm on trail, which if you want to see some funny stories, go ahead and YouTube Glastonbury Wilderness. There's a lot of stories about paranormal activity and disappearances and sightings of Bigfoot and this and that. You know, believe what you want, but I'll be alone in the Glastonbury Wilderness for about 50 miles. So if you guys don't hear from me for a while, hopefully I didn't get abducted. But right now I'm up on what they call Harmon Hill, and again, it's another amazing day. I'm in shorts. It is a little bit chilly up here, but like when I'm hiking, I absolutely need to be in shorts. Look at this. Look at this view. This view is to the west right here, so that would be that would in the distance is like the Albany, New York area, upstate New York. And then I'm not really sure what town that is down there. That could be part of Bennington. I think that's a little bit too far west to be Bennington. Bennington's a little bit north, so maybe someone who's watching the video has a better idea of what towns those are down there. But again, the visibility is absolutely incredible, and yeah, I'm thankful for the view, but at the same time, I'm hurting right now. I'm definitely hurting right now. So let me take you guys over here so you can see a little bit better. It was absolutely gorgeous coming up onto this hill. The first time I actually saw some flowers that were still in bloom and stuff. But there seems to be a trail that hikes down the hill into whatever area that is, but that's not the way the AT is, so I won't be going in that direction. But as you can see, it's pretty beautiful up here. I got my pack sitting up here by the sign. So the game plan is I'm going to give the motel that I'm staying at a ring to let them know that I'll be at the trailhead, and they told me it would take me about an hour and 10 minutes. Even with my ankles as sore as they are, I definitely hike faster than that, based off what I've done so far today. So I'll make it there in plenty of time for my pickup. And yeah, and then I'm gonna head into Bennington, get a shower, get my clothes cleaned again, and find somewhere to soak my ankles really good. And I'll probably hit a pharmacy and get some Epsom salts for that too, for a little bit faster recovery. So I'm not really sure if I'll be on the trail tomorrow. My guess is probably not. It's probably going to be a true 0 day for me, because this day is certainly not a 0. I'm going to be hiking close to 5 miles to get to the town on pretty tired ankles. So not feeling the greatest today, but I'm trying to keep positive, and I'm going to heal up quickly like I normally do, and I'll be back on trail in no time. Talk to you guys soon. Tank out.